Hey everybody. So I have some statistics here. I'm dual wielding this. I have my secondary phone. So I'm getting ready on moving out of this country within the next year or so, and just everything lines up. When I get my passport, when I have enough money to the election cycle, literally everything lines up within a year. Okay. This is one of the many reasons why I'm getting the fuck out of here. Um, I'm gonna I have to say unalived because I can't use the other word. Okay, so our military, this is from the last 23 years. This was 2000 to now. We have had 110,000 of our servicemen and women unalive themselves. More of our soldiers have lost their lives, okay, by their own hand than in combat. No other military in human history has had this many, of those happen. Next, we've had over 1.24 million people, that's one and a quarter million people, have lost their lives due to drug overdoses. The year 2022, last year, had 174,000 people just that year alone. Mass shootings have only killed 21,570 people. Again, it also depends on what you consider a mass shooting to be, but that's still ridiculous. On top of mass shootings, mass casualty events, robberies, and other crimes that involved firearms, stabbings, etc., 192,273 people. Alcohol and cigarette related. This is where we get into what's called the deaths of despair. These are things that are caused by disparity, which is again is linked to poverty, being unhappy, etc. Also, the mass shooting thing. A lot of those are by single young men who primarily are virgins. Those are called incels. All these things are related. Okay, the breakdown of the family, the breakdown of the social cohesion. Okay, alcohol and cigarette related deaths. Okay, that's over 3.8 million people. Okay, that's astronomical. Then we have unaliving related to mental health, primarily depression, things like that. 4,250,000 people. These are casualties like something from a war. And you ready for this one? And this is going to trigger a lot of you leftists out there. 21,198,253 abortions. That's roughly 1 million abortions every year for 23 years. This is a combined total of 29,876,096 Americans have lost their lives. And there's no war. There's no Great Plague. There was no natural disaster. These are people taking their own lives, their children's, or it's diseases and mental health problems that are going untreated. What did Jeremiah Wright say that was so controversial? God bless America, God damn America. It says it in the Bible. Well, what did he say? The chickens are coming home to roost. What happened in 2001, 9/11? What happened 2 years later, the Iraq War? The United States killed over 3.2 million people, 2 million of them being Iraqis. What happened since then? Our troops are all taking their own lives and primarily going nuts. Then our people are mass killing their children and taking a whole bunch of drugs and alcohol and also losing their own lives. Then we have all these young men, due to various social breakdowns and mental health issues, are basically alone and isolated, and all they do is play video games and they're on the internet constantly. And so they get access to firearms and they just go out and start taking people's lives. And we don't do anything. All the left wing does is they blame the guns, and all the right wing does is just sit down and say, oh, we need more of them. This is not improving. This is 23 years of chaos. This is 23 years of evil. This is 23 years of death and destruction. Okay? Does this sound like a country to you that is going forward? No. The only thing that is keeping our population afloat is immigration. That's why that white people are becoming increasingly radicalized. Because over 23 years ago, if you talked about replacement, you were a Nazi. The Republican Party now literally has talking points from actual fascists. That is how bad things have gotten in this country, is the so-called conservative party has now become the party of hate and fear. Okay? And look at Florida. They're banning books. They're rewriting American history. I don't want to be here. I've seen all this before. And unironically, the country that I'm moving to, Germany, is the country where all this began. Again, talk about an irony, right? A sick irony to this. Where all this stuff that we are repeating in this country, this is nothing new. This happened in Germany in the 30s. Well, Germany already went through that, and even talk of this is illegal there. In this country, we have so-called freedom of speech, and what has that resulted in? They have equality over there. We have freedom here. There's a difference. And equality, which is most modern Western countries, they have free health care. They have school that's paid for. Their taxes is ridiculous, but you know what? They have a functioning, competent government. They have an actual democratic system. They have an economy that's stable. They don't have all this crime. They don't have all this evil. And they're not all over the world bombing and killing people. That's another thing, too, about this country. We're not reversing course. We are accelerating our own destruction. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching.